Uh-oh. Can we talk about this? Is this something that we can discuss? Guys, welcome back into another video. It is I, your Lord and Savior, back with yet another AOT reaction. We're back in here. We're going to react to a video that was requested to be reacted to by my friend Serenity. Serenity has been posting AOT clips and he's been blowing up, making great points, great fucking content to react to and just to sit down and watch. So I recommend you guys go to his channel if you are not subscribed, and you are subscribed to me but not to Serenity. Go subscribe right goddamn now. We are going to react to this video here. Serenity reached out personally and wanted to know the thoughts on the video, and I'll be happy to oblige. Now, a lot of us pretty much share the same sentiment in regards to how the story played out. Now, when I do say a lot of us, I'm referencing Sated Chief, Serenity, Brown's Magic, folks like that. We all pretty much share the same sentiment when it comes to the fact that the reality is that Attack on Titan, the ending was fucking trash. So this is something that's probably going to be easy to react to, and this is going to be something that's going to be very, very entertaining as well, as we can actually get some logical and viable points done by somebody who is competent in the space and knows what the fuck they're talking about. I'm very excited to react to this, as I am excited to see what his thoughts are when it comes to this fucking chapter. I did a take on this myself personally regarding 131 and the misinterpretation and misunderstanding of 131 that a lot of people for some reason didn't have the comprehension and the knowledge factor to be able to decipher the text that was given to us. Now, this video that Serenity did is entitled Using Reading Comprehension on Attack on Titan Chapter 131. Now, I've been very harsh on a lot of people when it came to this particular chapter because for some reason or another, there is a particular scene in this chapter relating to Eren being disappointed in the reality of the world, but a lot of fucking idiots, and I'm gonna say that again, a lot of fucking idiots, let me say that one more time, a lot of fucking idiots seem to deem it as by him saying he was disappointed, that it meant that he was just disappointed that humanity just fucking existed, and he just wanted to kill them all because it was in his nature to do so. Right? How stupid does that fucking sound? I already know how this video is probably going to play out. Serenity's going to break this thing down brilliantly, and we're going to be spreading some poignant points on this particular subject. But before we get into it, y'all already know the deal. Guys, if you enjoy the content that is being produced on this channel, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe button. Those things are absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a goddamn dime. But what it does do is it does help out the channel, and it helps us grow, and it helps us be seen to more eyes. So I appreciate you guys. Last but not least, guys, go ahead and share the content as well. Sharing is caring. That will get us out there as well as hit the notification bell for you guys' sake, so you guys are in the know and in the loop of anything and everything that is being posted on this goddamn channel. So without motherfucking ado, let's do this. All right, guys, as I said, I'm super stoked and humbled to do this, and it is my honor to react and present to you Serenity's video regarding the comprehension of chapter 131. Let's do it. Let's go.
More exposition time. Chapter 90. Eren receives memories from touching Historia's hand. Chapter 123. The scouts head into Mali to try and go for some peace talks. They attend an Eldian rights group meeting, and this group are sympathetic towards Eldian people, as long as they are not from Paradis. Eren sees this, and he leaves. The next time the scouts see him, we see him at a large camp. crying. Why is he crying? We'll get back to that. So, after Mikasa finds him, Eren asks her, "What am I to you?" And Mikasa responds with, "Family." Later in that chapter, Mikasa wonders if things would have gone differently had she given him a different answer, other than family. Chapter 131. Eren walks through the streets of Marley, depressed at the thought that he was going to kill everyone there. Men, animals, everything. Depressed because they never found another way. Depressed that he can't just accept sacrificing the people of Paradis.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna apologize for stopping it, but I'm gonna go and let this man cook. Because this man cooking with motherfucking grease. Let's go.
People for the sake of the outside world. Depressed, thinking himself a hypocrite, saving Ramsey even though he knows Ramsey is still going to die in the rumbling. And this is where we find the reason why Eren cried in chapter 123. Because before Mikasa found him, he was crying for Ramsey, saying sorry. Let's start over again with elaboration. Chapter 90. Eren receives the memories from touching Historia's hand. What memories did he receive? Chapter 123. The scouts visit Marley. From the moment the chapter starts, Eren's demeanor is solemn, grim. It's like he saw all these things happen in his memories.
Yeah, he's already throwed. Like he's already throwed. Like he's living with this burden of the rumbling. He's living with this. Now again, I will say this, and I will play devil's advocate to a degree, but we can kind of already assume what he saw. We don't know specifically what he saw, but we do know, as I've said before, whatever he saw scared the fuck out of him. So whatever the fuck he saw was very, very telling that it was not good. I mean, he didn't see a buffet of seafood and his favorite foods. He didn't see that. So,
but he still came along because he wanted to prove his memories wrong. Mikasa, his supposed love interest, who you are supposed to assume he had fallen head over heels over since chapter 50 in the scarf scene, gives him an ice cream. Eren has nothing else to say but ice cream. I saw this in my old man's memories. Eldians in the interment zone rarely get to eat it. What a nice romantic mood. It's like Eren is more focused on more important matters rather than Mikasa's feelings. Next panel, Armin and Mikasa don't give a single fuck about Eren and his depression. It is shown through dialogue that they chose to ignore it. Now before you say, it's a question, not a statement or an answer. Alright, did Armin and Mikasa choose to ignore Eren and his depression post time skip? Yes, they did. They noticed it and chose to ignore it. Now, when the scouts attend the Eldian Rights Group meeting, Eren leaves. Some people, like Fox and Anime, argue that this is evidence that Eren didn't see everything in his memories.
He may not have seen every little bit of information that just boom, 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 that just went like, okay, this is going to happen next, this is going to happen next, this is going to happen next, right? Because that was given to us even in chapter 131 when he states that, you know, he knows that sometime soon this will happen. He doesn't know when, but sometime soon this will happen. We can elaborate on that. What does that have to do with him walking out, Fox and Anime? Like, he walked out because, again, it was futile, right? The futility of it all. Do I have to reference the Ishiyama statement again? I hope not. Futility, futile, pointless. That's why he walked away. Because at that point, it was whatever.
Now sure, I can buy that Eren didn't see everything in his memories because of dialogue in chapter 121. However, I believe Eren saw this particular memory of the meeting. Why? Because if you actually read the manga and the chapter, you would notice how Eren kept harkening back to what he saw in his memories. And you could conclude that he did see this meeting in his memories, but he didn't want his future memories to be true. Eren came to Mali.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. I know I'm pausing it a lot, guys, but y'all know if y'all seen my videos or anything about me, y'all know that I like to do a lot of dialogue myself and a lot of monologue. So, but yeah, I absolutely 100% agree with that. You know, we can say that he did or he didn't, but we can pretty much kind of assume just based off of the context clues that he probably did see that part. And that's why he just walked out and he was just kind of there and was just like, I don't really give a fuck. Because if I'm not mistaken, everybody else was super surprised. Everybody else was just fucking flabbergasted. Like, oh, God, what? They don't give a fuck about us. What the hell? But he just said, I'm out.
in the Eldian Rice Group meeting to prove whether that particular memory was true and if it could be changed.
Yep.
And since the events played out like what Eren saw in his future memories, he became even more depressed and walked out the meeting. Where did he walk out to? Chapter 131, he walks out into the streets of Marley. And here is where we get his internal monologue. Pay attention to not only the dialogue but also the use of ellipses. Very soon
Agreed.
now, they will all be dead. No, I am going to kill them. That I will kill them is already set. Which means we also never found a way for parody to survive. All of this will be wiped out. The homes, the people, the animals, the lives, the dreams. Eren looks towards a pregnant mother and remembers his own mother. What would Mom think? Before we continue further, what are ellipses used for? They indicate the omission of words from quoted material, hesitation or trailing off in dialogue or train of thought.
Yep.
He's hesitating because he does not want to kill these people. But say you argue that it was simply used to separate the individual sections of text. Alright, what about this dialogue? All of this will be wiped out. Ellipses, the homes, full stop, the people, full stop, the animals, full stop, the dreams,
Yeah.
full stop. No ellipses here. But there are ellipses to all the other times
Yeah.
Eren is referring to
Yeah.
all these innocent people dying.
Yeah.
Could this not imply that his mind was trailing off whenever he thinks about killing all these people? Does this one single page in chapter 131 not emphasize Eren's despair of knowing he might not be able to change the future? That he could not change anything, that he was still useless despite attaining godlike powers. Chapter 50, dialogue of his breakdown. Hello? Ring any bells? Chapter 68, where he looks at Mikasa effortlessly carrying a barrel, her strength making him remember how his weakness cost him his mother. And before you ask, yes, I saw plenty of delusional Aramika shippers changing the scene's context too. Oh, Eren was looking at her because he was so madly in love. And it lit-
Yeah, we gotta stop with that. We gotta stop with that, guys. Look, like I'm not gonna lie. I get a little bit tired of that whole shipping characters together thing. The story doesn't dictate that. Like, this is not a romance story. You know, this is not a who loves who story. This is not any of that. So I don't understand why we keep trying to do that. Like, I'm not really a big fan of that. Like, I've never been a big fan of the whole shipping thing. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand why that's even something people do. Like, just read the story, use context clues, use punctuation marks, as Serenity is doing, and understand the comprehension of what is actually happening. This story is not about who loves who. Like, I frankly don't give a fuck. I think the strife and the turmoil that his people went through and the fact that they didn't know what the fuck was going on and then they had to discover that only to still be ridiculed by the people who just want power, Marley, I think that's kind of fucked up. And I think that's the main thing of the story, the main focus of the story, not relationships and cultivating, you know, husband and wife future stuff. Like, irrelevant. Keep going, man.
Literally makes you wonder whether these NPCs read the same story as us, since they just change the context of the story whenever they want. But I'm going to talk more about context later, don't you worry. Chapter 97, Eren cries again about his weakness. He asks Reiner how he became so strong. Reiner, how do you become that way? Like you? Or Mikasa? What do I have to do to be like you? If I don't change something, my life is going to end without me having done a single thing. Reiner responds, tells Eren, just do what you have to do. Just keep moving forward. It's all we can do. Yeah, that's right. I just have to keep moving forward. Chapter 100, Declaration of War. Eren keeps moving forward until all of his enemies are destroyed.
Yep.
He got the power, the ability, the strength, and the will to do what he had to do. And what did he achieve? He ate the Warhammer Titan and killed the high-ranking military in Marley. Chapter 121, Zeke tells Eren, you're as powerless as ever. And Eren makes a very familiar face in response to that. And guess what? Sick and tired of his inability to change things, he literally breaks the chains of paths to get to Ymir, to convince her to give him the founding titan powers. Powers he would use to destroy his enemies who want to kill him and his people. All those chapters emphasize Eren's hatred of his inability to change things, and his sheer will to find a way to change things despite that. Chapter 131
Agreed.
is doubling down on his need to change things for the sake of his life, his friends, his nation, his people. He is depressed because the events he saw in his memories were playing out the same way. His memory of the meeting ending the same way despite him coming along with the scouts and hoping it wasn't true drove him to the conclusion that the future could not be changed, that he was as powerless as ever to change things. Let's continue with chapter 131.
He's absolutely 100% right. And that was the whole thing that a lot of us picked up on when we were reading it. A lot of the time, Eren already saw these things. Eren was at a lot of these different locations to determine whether or not the future could be changed. I know it can be up for debate, but in my mind, what I think and I hearken back to is the whole Sasha incident. I personally believe that he knew Sasha was going to die. And I think that while he, asked what her last words were, in the anime, they told him, and he actually laughed. He didn't cry. He didn't weep. He wasn't like, oh my God, Sasha, oh, what the fuck happened to you? It wasn't none of that. It was, hey, what were her last words? Of course, he was upset. He was pissed. But I think he already knew she was going to die, and all he was doing was confirming yet again that his actions and what he did didn't change anything. So that's what I believe. Granted, it could be up for debate. I know a lot of other people kind of don't agree with that, but I personally think so. Just the way it played out, his reaction to it, it just kind of just spelled out to me that he already knew what was to come.
Eren talks about whether the Eldian people should die. Aren't we Eldians the ones who ought to die? Just as the King of the Walls chose the path of death for himself? If nothing else, isn't there just too big a difference between the number of people who'll die on the island and the outside? Plus, it's the fact that if all the Eldians go wiped out, the Titan problem would disappear with them. Look at his facial expressions. But I just can't accept an end like that. Did you notice this entire internal monologue did not include Mikasa for a moment? Chapter 139, Eren says he was doing all of this just to arrive at the result of Mikasa's choice. And ending defenders do love to say that Eren never cared about the people of Parody. He only cared about his friends, right? So why is he wasting time talking about the Eldian people on Parody and how he can't accept an end like that?
Yeah.
Seriously, this is an internal monologue. How is Eren lying to himself in his own internal monologue with no one but himself to hear his thoughts? Where was it established that Eren was an unreliable narrator? Was it only in chapter 139, the final chapter in the series? So Isayama established that in the very last chapter, with no foreshadowing he was unreliable before. That's crazy. Continuing.
I agree. You can't defend that. Those are internal thoughts. Like he said, is he lying to himself by saying all of that? We get it. We who didn't like the ending, we use common goddamn sense. Of course he cared more for his friends than the people. Sure, right? It's just like any movie that you see, right? You have a hero who's taken on this outside threat, aliens, whatever you want to have it. Yes, he has his own family. He has his own friends. He has his own life. But he's still fighting for humanity. You see? Do you get it, guys? Yes, he still, of course, cares for his family above everybody random else, of course, because they're randoms. He don't know them. However, they still play a role in humanity as a whole. Same thing with Eren. Yes, he cares about his close-knit friends, Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Connie, all of them. Sasha at the time, when they were on the train. He cares deeply about them for sure. He's been through a lot of shit with them. But it's not like he doesn't care about the people of the island, too. He cares about his friends more, sure, but he still does hold a place for the Eldian people in his heart, too. Guys, it's not rocket science. Come on.
Moving on, Eren sees Ramsey, notices he's the boy he saw in a future memory. Eren saves Ramsey despite knowing it's pointless because Ramsey will still die. Eren says he's just like Reiner. No, he says he's worse than Reiner. Then Eren breaks down crying in front of Ramsey, tells him, I'm sorry. Then comes Invaders' favorite panel of chapter 131. When I learned that humanity had survived beyond the walls, I was so disappointed.
Let's get to it. Serenity finna break this down. I just have this good feeling that Serenity's about to break this down. Y'all, let's let him cook.
Now, using Invaders' logic, which is the most literal interpretation of the scene, this would mean that Eren is a psychopathic mass murderer who wanted to destroy the outside world because that was in his nature. That was what he wanted to do. He wanted to do it because humanity did not exist in Armin's book. If the outside world was peaceful and wasn't actively seeking the complete annihilation of his people, the Eldians, Eren would have still done the rumbling because humanity simply existed. Or, how about this? Could it possibly be that Eren said he wanted to do it because he was frustrated? I'll call this the frustration interpretation. I'll sidetrack for a moment, but you'll understand how this loops back to the main point of Eren's future memories. Chapter 121. Eren strive for freedom from the moment he was born. Not just when he saw Armin's stupid book. If all Eren was fighting for all this time pre-time skip was all because of Armin's book. Chapter 84. Why did Eren forget this very important dream of Armin? Why did he forget when Armin's idea of freedom was also his idea of freedom? Seriously, he was never free inside the walls of Paradis. And after all the sacrifices made, after all the pain, after all the suffering they all endured to free humanity from the grip of the Titans and leave those walls, they find out they had jumped out the frying pan and into the fire. Let me simplify it. Eren strove for freedom outside the walls. They went over that wall for his freedom, found a wall of Titans. Guess he's still not free. Eren strove for freedom from the Titans. He fought and broke that wall for his freedom, found a wall of Titan shifters. Guess he's still not free. Eren strove for freedom from the Titan shifters who wanted to claim his power and exterminate his people. So he fought and broke that wall for his freedom. Oh, that's great. That means Eren is finally free. But when he reached that ocean, when he was finally supposed to achieve the freedom he long sought after, turns out reaching the ocean was not freedom because they're still not free. He is still not free. There is still another wall that he has to go over. Another wall he has to break through. Another wall requiring more pain, more suffering, and more sacrifices just to get through. Here, Eren's frustrations could have reached a tipping point, and he wanted nothing else but to eliminate the new wall in front of him. Now, Invaders argues that Eren would have wanted...
I told y'all. I knew Serenity was going to cook that. I knew he was going to cook it. He already had the seasoning ready for that chicken. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm telling you, like, it just baffles me that interpretation was even a thing of, oh, he just wanted to kill the people because they just existed. What kind of dumb fuckery is that? That is so stupid, guys. I got something at the end of this video. I'm going to tell you the interpretation and the correct interpretation as well. Goes perfectly aligned with what Serenity is talking about right now, about the frustration and the fact that every time he kept getting somewhere, it was like, damn, I'm here. I figured this part out. Damn, my friend's dying. Shit, whatever. God, okay, we figured this part out. Damn, what the fuck? The ocean. Goddamn. That's why he said the dialogue in there. That's where the fucking line comes from when he's sitting there at the beach. He said he always thought that at this point, this is what freedom was. Beyond the walls was freedom. That's what he always believed. But no, it's another goddamn barricade. It's another fucking wall. It's more strife. It's more turmoil. It's more pain. It's more tears. It's more death. Damn, will we finally be free once all the enemies are destroyed? Because I only once just seen the enemies just being these titans. Then now I find out that the enemies is a mixture within the walls of humans and titans. What I mean by humans and titans, I mean the shifters, I mean the king within the walls, I mean that the secret society that Kenny was a part of too. All of these things played a role with him. All of these things. And it's like, damn, we went through all of that. Now I'm only to find out that there's more humans. The world actually does have more people here who are thriving. God damn, what the fuck? And they're the issue? They're the ones? God damn, when will it end? One could say he got to that particular point. When will this fucking end? Let's keep going, man.
To rumble a free world because of school casts. A spin-off, Isayama says, is canon. Listen, do not use a spin-off as evidence. The main source material has to be able to stand by itself.
Yes.
But fine. You want to use volume 31 of Schoolcasts? Volume 33, Eren regrets becoming the threat to humanity. Tell me again about Schoolcast. Now let's get back to the actual source material. Chapter 131. Let's read Eren's dialogue here again, but this time, let's read all of it. You see, it's to save the island, to save Eldia. The reality of life beyond the walls was nothing like the world I dreamed about. It was nothing like the world I'd seen in Armin's book. When I learned that humanity had survived beyond the walls, I was so disappointed. So, I made a wish. I wished for it to all be wiped away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. They were always just there, wherever I looked, from the day I was born. Those miserable walls. Eren was going to rumble the outside world because the outside world wasn't what it was like in Armin's book. So much so that even if the outside world wasn't seeking to destroy him and his people, Eren would have still chosen to do the rumbling. But even if he did destroy the outside world, he would not have had the freedom that he wanted. How about this? Eren was going to destroy the outside world because the world wasn't what it was like in Armin's book. The world didn't have his freedom like Armin's book.
But you're basically saying the exact same things as Invaders.
Shut up. I'm not finished. Invaders' point is that Eren was trying to find any excuse to do the rumbling because the outside world was not what he saw in Armin's book, because humanity just existed. Invaders' point is that even if the outside world wasn't trying to annihilate his people, he would still have done the rumbling to destroy humanity to make it look like Armin's book. Invaders' point is that Eren did not do the rumbling out of necessity, but because he just wanted to rumble the world because of Armin's book. My point with the frustration interpretation is that had the world not wanted to kill him and his people, he would not have destroyed the world to make it look like Armin's book. Because it wasn't so much the environmental scenery or the fact that humanity just existed outside the walls that disappointed Eren, but because after everything, the freedom he sought was hidden behind yet another wall. Let's focus on the specific dialogue in chapter 131, which is just 7 pages away from Invaders' favorite panel. They were always just there, wherever I looked, from the day I was born. Those miserable walls. Do you see it now? The reality of life beyond the walls was nothing like the world I dreamed about. Was Eren dreaming about the literal landscape? About the literal empty plains without any humans? Or, if we do not take this dialogue so literally, was he talking about a reality beyond the walls where he was free from any walls that trapped him like a cage? The walls were that cage. The Titans were that cage. Now it was humanity that was that cage. It was nothing like the world I'd seen in Armin's book. Again, was Eren literally wanting to see the rivers of fire, frozen water, empty plains that were in Armin's book? Armin's book, where there were no more cages, no more walls. It was nothing like the world he saw, because the real world outside was just another wall, just another cage. When I learned that humanity had survived beyond the walls, I was so disappointed. So, I made a wish. I wish for it to all be wiped away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Eren was disappointed because humanity simply existed outside the walls, and that it is not like Armin's book. That is the literal interpretation of this panel. Eren was disappointed because in Armin's book, outside the walls would have his freedom, but in reality, outside the walls was nothing but another wall, another cage. It just so happened that this new wall was humanity. If the outside world's humanity were all nice, Eren would not have rumbled, even though humanity did not exist in Armin's book, because humanity here would not be trying to take his freedom. Chapter 121. If someone tried to take my freedom, I wouldn't hesitate to take theirs. The outside world was taking Eren's freedom and his people's freedom, and he won't hesitate to take theirs away. And Eren could do that. He could make his own wish come true. Eren wasn't so weak as he was before. He was finally able to believe in himself. He found the strength, the resolve to do what he had to do for himself, for his friends, for his people. He has that power. That said, Eren was never a psychopathic mass murderer who wanted to kill innocent people just because. That's definitely a very compelling and interesting motivation that should be recognized for what it is. Now, you might argue using chapter 139 with this panel. You might say that this supports invaders' whole idea. I'll show you why this doesn't work. Frustration interpretation. Eren wanted to do the rumbling to protect his people and get the freedom that he wanted by destroying the wall that caged them. This wall just happened to be humanity. To destroy humanity would rid the wall that was denying his and his people's freedom. Invaders' interpretation. Eren wanted to do the rumbling because humanity simply existed outside the walls. And this was not like Armin's book. He wanted to kill humanity outside the walls to make it look like Armin's book. Then even if Eren finished the rumbling, Eren would still be looking for his freedom. Chapter 139 answer. Eren wanted to do the rumbling because he wanted to get to Mikasa's choice that would make the power of the Titans vanish from this world. That was the reason why he kept moving forward. So that's the real reason why, right? Wrong. He changed his motivations for the rumbling in the very same chapter. Chapter 139. I don't know why. I just wanted to. Eren wanted to do the rumbling because he has no idea why. This panel in chapter 139 is not the same motivation as Invaders. Because even for Invaders' take, Eren's motivation was because he wanted to rumble because the world wasn't what it was like in Armin's book. Chapter 139. Eren's motivation was because he wanted to rumble because he has no idea why. If they are the same, it makes no sense for Eren to say, I don't know why. If they are the same, then have Eren say, oh, it's because of your book, Armin.
Right.
Just remember, Eren is talking to Armin. Armin's book. Hello? But no, people are buying the idea that Eren was a psychopath. Eren is not a psychopath.
He
wanted freedom for himself and for his people to not be
He's
exterminated
not.
just because they were born as Eldians. Eren saw his future memories. He saw that he would do the rumbling, but he did not want to kill innocent people. So, he travels to Marley because he saw the Eldian Rights Group meeting in his memories. He saw them hate the Paradisians in his memories, but he wanted to check if it could be different, if it could be changed. But it didn't change. It played out like his memories. How do I know? His dialogue after he leaves the meeting has the tone that suggests he was confirming a suspicion. Very soon now, they will all be dead. No, I am going to kill them. That I will kill them is already set. Which means we also never find a way for Parody to survive. I guess the future doesn't change. You know what? Let me give an example. You gain the memories of the future. You saw that your mother divorces your father. Your teacher tells you he's gay. And your nation will lose the war and be completely destroyed. You know what could happen to you? You might be in denial. Not because of the gay teacher, but because of your parents divorcing. You will do everything in your power to prove that the memories you saw of the future are not true. Again, not because of the gay teacher. But what happens when your mother divorces your father? Will you still be in denial? Will you admit that the future memories you saw are real? Alright, say you do believe they're real. What are you going to do to test how much of the future can you change? You don't want your nation to be destroyed, right? So you enter your classroom. You see that your new teacher is a guy. What are you going to ask him? Know that you are a woman. You go to your teacher and say, what am I to you? The teacher looks at you funny and responds, sorry, I'm gay. With 2 out of the 3 future memories fulfilled, will you just accept that your nation will lose the war and be destroyed? Or are you going to do everything in your power to try and change that outcome? Would you hope that along the way, something convinces you that the future could be changed?
Beautiful. 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 That was beautiful work. Very poignant points. Very much on the same page. That's basically a complete breakdown of how that chapter read. The interpretation of that chapter was perfect. I don't get it. We don't get it. We don't understand how you could even fathom to point out that Eren is just this sociopathic psychopath who just wants to kill people because, oh, this book was right here. Man, fuck that book, man. That book ain't like real life, so I'm gonna kill everybody. Fuck y'all. No, but you disregard everything else. You disregard everything. You disregard these people actively wanting them dead. You absolutely shit on, and I mean shit on, Eren's journey to even getting to that point. You actually reduce his journey, his strife, his turmoil, all to a mere he just wanted to kill people. That is some bullshit thought processes. Bullshit, to say the least. Well, let me break it down even further for you guys. Guys, the line, when I found out that humanity existed beyond the walls, I was so disappointed. Guys, you have to understand the context. Yes, I agree with invaders.
What the hell is even that?
I bet you guys wasn't thinking that I was going to say that shit. I agree with invaders and a lot of those people who were on that side with the point of yes, he was disappointed when he found out humanity existed. Absolutely. Absolutely. He absolutely was disappointed. Like he said, it wasn't like Armin's book. It wasn't like Armin's book whatsoever. I absolutely agree. Of course, yes, he was disappointed. Who wouldn't be disappointed? Who wouldn't be disappointed who was told all their life pretty much, that y'all were all that was left of humanity? That was it. You guys were the last remaining remnants of humanity that was within the walls. You guys were told this damn near since birth, based on the fact that you guys' memories were erased. You were told this all this time for years. For years. Your curriculum showed it. Random books showed it. Example, Armin's book. All of these different things showed that you guys were it. That was it. Just you. Just y'all. Y'all were it. And you guys had to suffer through being kept from the rest of the world by Titans. That's fucking frustrating, don't you think? Damn, that's frustrating. That's terrible, right? Now scenarios play out that absolutely suck. Your mom got killed in front of you. People that you knew were dying all around you. The people that you literally just said hey to that morning are probably dead because your house was closest to the walls. So a lot of the surrounding people that you grew up with were all gone. They were all wiped out. But the one memory that's seared in your mind is your mom getting eaten. That fucking sucks. That's terrible. Terrible. So now you vow for revenge. You want to wipe out these goddamn Titans. Not only are these Titans the reason you guys built the wall in the first place, right? According to what you know. Not only are they the reason, now they are the reason why your mom got fucking killed. Damn. If you don't say that's motivation, I don't know what to tell you. So then your journey takes you to the Cadet Corps. You meet new friends, you meet new people, along with Armin and Mikasa, and you have your goal to strive out to be the Survey Corps, the Wings of Freedom, the Scouts Regiment. That's what you want to join. You want to be that group. So you work your ass off to get there, only to start finding out that things aren't what they seem. You got friends that are actually traitors, and that kind of shakes you to the core, right? You're like, damn, shit, what the fuck is going on? Then the half-truth of your dad killing the Fritz family is revealed to you. And now you blame yourself and your family for the reason why everybody died. If that didn't happen so long ago, maybe, just maybe, your mom would have still been alive. Everybody would have still been alive if it wasn't for your dad and it wasn't for your family. So guess what? You want to end it all. You say, you know what? I can't do this. Fuck this. But then you have your friend Historia talk you out of it. Historia brings you back on your feet to where you start not just trusting in your friends, but trusting in your own actions. And you're like, man, this is it. This is what needs to be. This is where I am. So then you fight your way back, skipping through, trudging through the mud. You get back to your home. You get to the basement. And you discover something interesting. You discover that humanity did not perish as you once thought. Damn. What? That's crazy. So from age 5 to, 14, you were told that humanity was just y'all. That was it. And what laid beyond your feet was fields of snow, fields of sand, the ocean. All of these beautiful sights laid at your feet. Only the Titans were in your way. But no, it soon discovered, as I just stated, that humanity actually exists. You guys are just a small piece to a very, very large puzzle. So then you start having more memories. More things start to be unlocked to you. You wake up crying in the middle of the night because you saw the viciousness of what people were capable of, just based on the fact that you guys are aliens. Don't know you, but just that y'all are aliens. So then we go to the medal ceremony. You speak to flock. You speak to the rest of the people. You talk about these different things. And guess where your mind wanders? To freedom. But what image pops into your head at the mere thought of freedom and the existence of the rest of the world? Goes back to that picture of your aunt. Innocent aunt. Only wanted to see fucking air balloons. Goes back to that. When you mention the word freedom. So you correlate freedom to that. Then shortly after that, you kiss Astoria's hand and you are utterly floored by what you see. You are so utterly appalled and shocked by what you see that even your friends notice. Levi, Hanji, Mikasa, they notice this look of clear distraught on your face. You saw devastation. You saw killing of innocents. You saw the end of the world. Years pass. Y'all finally get to the point to where all the Titans are wiped away. To where you guys can now travel freely without any restrictions. And you make it to the ocean. The scene in Armin's book. Only everybody else is excited, but you. Wonder why. Why are you not excited? Everybody else is. Everybody else in the water, frolicking, playing, tasting the water. But you sit there, thinking things over, mulling everything over. And the more and more you think about it, the more it hurts you. The more it depresses you. The more it weighs you down. You have everybody else excited. Then your friend comes up to you and asks you, hey, this is what we wanted. We made it here. We made it. We're here. It stretches as far as the eye can see. And you're like, yes, we did. We did. But then the pressure boils over to where you start to seep out a little bit of what you're thinking. You then state, on the other side of the walls is the ocean. And beyond that is freedom. And that's what you always believed. By you understanding this notion and getting this knowledge, you then soon realize that freedom is not beyond the ocean. It's just another wall. And now getting back to the point at hand, after all that I just quoted to you, who wouldn't be disappointed in finding out that humanity existed? Who would not be disappointed at that? Who would not be disappointed finding out that humanity existed? When you fought so hard for a freedom you felt was so attainable, only to be hit again with another wall that you thought that you conquered. Who wouldn't be disappointed? As I stated, I do agree with invaders and a lot of people on that point. But that's where we stop agreeing. Yes, I agree that finding out after all this time that humanity existed would be a blow to anybody, especially the journey in which I took to get there. However, that disappointment is not enough to make me want to kill and wipe away the world. It's so much so not enough that even as I walked through the streets of my enemy, I questioned whether I should even fucking do it. It's interesting. Simply put, guys, I agree that Eren is disappointed that he found out humanity existed. As I said, who wouldn't be? But that disappointment is not enough alone, just that, to be able to push him to wipe out fucking society. It's not enough. There has to be more to it. And then more to it is the real reason why the rumbling was done. It was because he was upset at the brutality and the hostility of the world. He was upset at the mere thought of thinking of freedom. He resorted back to his aunt. At the mere thought of freedom, that's what he thought of, was that horrific scenery. This is what we have been trying to get through to you guys forever. You guys have no comprehension skills whatsoever. At all. And again, I'm never going to be nice about it anymore. As I've said in previous videos and even in the YouTube shorts, we want a goddamn apology. Others may not want it as much as I do, but we want a fucking apology for you spreading this bullshit, stupid ass rhetoric talking about that Eren just wanted to kill people just because. The reason it sucks so much is because so many people clung on to this. And you have confused the masses into believing such a bullshit take. If this was real journalism, which is not, but if this was real journalism, you would need to do a retraction statement. You would need to retract everything that you did because that was false information and it was a lie. And the problem I'm having with this is because you even phrased the video in the way to push the narrative.
Not only is the belief that the ending was retconned entirely incorrect, but the ending we got was the only logical conclusion the story could have had. More specifically, and what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, is that Eren's conclusion was not only logical and natural, but also fantastic, inventive writing that truly elevated his character to a level very few could have foreseen. My intention with this video is to definitively close the book on the controversies and the many misunderstandings that have prevailed in the discourse surrounding Eren. Experiencing this simple moment was enough for Armin, but Eren wanted something more. And that desire from Eren brings us to the main topic of this video. Eren could not accept that the world outside of the walls was different from the free world he had imagined. And because of that discrepancy, Eren used the rumbling to destroy the world, not out of necessity, but because it was what he wanted to do. After his attack on Marley, Eren seemed to have changed into a cold-blooded killer. But that wasn't true. Eren had always been this way. Because his character growth conflicted with his inherent nature, Eren remained fundamentally the same character from the first chapter until the very last one.
Guys, as I see it, I think we deserve an apology. I truly believe we deserve an apology because we had to deal with this for 2 fucking years. 2 years of this bullshit. Guys, that is the video. Again, my thanks and shout out goes to Serenity for providing such marvelous content. And I'm honored yet again that you asked me to even look and view it. So I appreciate you, my friend. Keep up the good fucking work. If you have not subscribed to this man, Serenity, please do so now. He has great videos, great content relating to Attack on Titan, and you should go through and view the whole goddamn catalog. But again, subscribe because why? It's fucking free. Do it. You won't regret it. Guys, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what your interpretation of chapter 131 was. Let me know if it was on par with what me and Serenity and a bunch of others have stated. Or if you agree with Invader's point and you think Eren was a sociopath, go ahead and put that down below as well. Can't promise you won't get roasted, but you feel free to comment. I'll reiterate, go ahead and subscribe, guys, and hit that like button if you enjoyed what you saw. And until next time, you guys have a great fucking day, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.